You bought tickets to see the Temptations last year. The lights went down. The music started. 5 guys in matching suits hit the stage, doing that choreography you've seen 1,000 times. And for a moment, you were back at your auntie's cookout. Back at that slow dance. Back somewhere you hadn't been in decades. But here's what you probably didn't think about while you were singing along to My Girl. Not a single person on that stage sang on the original record. Only one of them was even in the group when Motown was Motown. And that's not just the Temptations. 12 legendary R&B groups are still touring right now. Some have 1 original member left, some have 0. And nobody wants to ask the uncomfortable question out loud. If everyone who made the music is gone, is it still the same group, or are you paying $200 to watch strangers perform your memories? Let's get into it. Time to chat. Number 12, Kool and the Gang. Come on, let's celebrate. There's a party. Let's start with a group that just got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2024, Kool and the Gang. But here's what most people at that ceremony didn't know. Robert Kool Bell started this group in 1964 with his brother Ronald. They were teenagers in Jersey City, neighborhood kids who learned jazz from their father, a professional boxer who happened to be close friends with Thelonious Monk. Over 60 years, they built an empire. Jungle Boogie, Ladies' Night, Get Down on It, and of course, Celebration, a song you've heard at every wedding, every graduation, every party you've ever attended. It's all right. But here's what happened. Ronald Bell, Kool's brother and co-founder, died in 2020. Dennis D.T. Thomas, another founding member, died in 2021. And George Funky Brown, who'd been there since the beginning, died in November 2023, which means Robert Kool Bell is now the last surviving original member of Kool and the Gang. It's a celebration. The man who named the group, the man who started it all with his brother as a teenager, he's still out there playing bass, leading the band, but everyone he started with is gone. Every single one. All right, baby, we're gonna have a good time tonight. And when he accepted that Hall of Fame award, he wasn't standing with his brother. He wasn't standing with the friends he'd made music with for 60 years. He was standing alone, celebrating a legacy that now lives primarily in his memory. It's a celebration. If you've ever watched your whole crew move on while you kept going, you know that's a different kind of loneliness. It's not about the music anymore. It's about being the keeper of something bigger than yourself. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. Number 11, The Shy Lights. How I depend on you to give. In September 2021, Marshall Thompson stood on Hollywood Boulevard and accepted a star on the Walk of Fame. But here's what made that moment hit different. The Shy Lights formed in 1959 at Hyde Park High School in Chicago. Marshall Thompson, Eugene Record, Robert Squirrel Lester, and Creadell Rhett Jones. They gave us Have You Seen Her in 1971 with that spoken word intro that still makes people stop and listen. And then in 1972, Oh Girl went a number 1 on the pop charts. That harmonica, those harmonies, a song so timeless that Beyonce sampled them on Crazy in Love 3 decades later. But then life happened. Eugene Record, who wrote and sang lead on almost all their hits, died in 2005. Squirrel Lester died in 2010. Creadell Jones had been gone since 1994. Marshall Thompson wrote a book about it. The title says everything, Last Man Standing, and it gets harder. In 2014, while performing on a Soul Train cruise, Thompson suffered a stroke. It affected his ability to walk distances, but it didn't stop him. At 83 years old, he's still out there touring with a reconstituted lineup that includes his wife, Tara. When he stood on that Walk of Fame, he was accepting not just for himself, but for Eugene, Squirrel, and Red. Men who weren't there to hear the applause, men whose voices only exist now in recordings. You know that feeling when you're the last one at the party and everyone else has gone home? Multiply that by 60 years. That's Marshall Thompson's life now. Real talk. Only 9% of you watching this are actually subscribed. That hurts a little, not gonna lie. We spend hours digging through archives, fact-checking every detail, bringing these stories back to life because this music deserves to be remembered. And you're here because you care about that too. So if these videos mean something to you, if you've ever said, damn, I didn't know that, or felt something while watching, just hit subscribe. It's free, takes 2 seconds, and it tells YouTube to show this to more people who love this music like we do. Let's build this together. All right, back to the story. Number 10, The Manhattans.
Please don't stop me till I'm through.
Gerald Alston tours as The Manhattans featuring Gerald Alston. But here's what most people don't know about Gerald Alston.
Many months have passed.
He wasn't an original member. The Manhattans formed in 1962 in Jersey City with George "Smitty" Smith, Sonny Bivens, Blue Lovett, Kenny Kelly, and Richard Taylor.
Understand me.
Smitty was the lead singer, the voice that put them on the map. But in 1970, Smitty got sick, a brain tumor. He couldn't perform anymore. They needed a replacement fast. Enter Gerald Alston, a 19-year-old kid from North Carolina studying pre-med at a small college. The Manhattan saw him perform, offered him the lead spot, and he took it. 12 days later, George Smith died. He was 30 years old.
I'm gonna miss you, I can't lie.
Gerald Alston went on to sing lead on Everything You Know, Kiss and Say Goodbye, in 1976, the first platinum single in Columbia Records history. Shining Star in 1980, which won a Grammy. For most people, Gerald Alston is the Manhattans. But technically, he was a replacement from day one.
Just kiss and say goodbye.
And now everyone else is gone. Blue Lovett died in December 2014. Sonny Bivens died the exact same month, just days apart. Kenny Kelly is gone. Gerald Alston is now the only surviving member from the hit-making years, carrying a name he inherited from men who died before he could barely vote.
Please, don't you cry.
If you've ever stepped into someone else's shoes and made them your own, you understand. Sometimes a legacy isn't about where you started. It's about how long you stayed.
I can't lie.
Number 9, The Stylistics.
Mere words could not.
This one might be the strangest situation on the list because there are actually 2 groups touring under the Stylistics name, and here's why that matters. The Stylistics came out of Philadelphia in 1968. 5 guys who gave us some of the smoothest music of the 70s. You Are Everything, Betcha by Golly, wow. I'm Stone in Love with You, and of course, You Make Me Feel Brand New. Tom Bell produced them, but the magic was Russell Tompkins Jr. That nasal falsetto, one of the most distinctive voices in soul music history. Then in 2000, Russell's voice gave out. Overuse. He had to leave the group. The Stylistics continued with replacement singers, but Russell wasn't done. He recovered. And in 2004, he formed a Russell Tompkins Jr. and the new Stylistics.
To tell you how I feel, my love.
So now you have two groups, one with the original name but not the original voice, one with the original voice but not the original name, both touring, both doing the same songs. If you buy a ticket to see the Stylistics, you might not get Russell. If you want Russell, you have to look for the new Stylistics. Here's the twist. In 2018, the official Stylistics hired Barrington Bo Henderson as their new lead singer, a guy who'd previously sung with the Temptations and the Dramatics. So the group is now fronted by someone who was famous for being in other classic soul groups. If you've ever felt like your identity got split in two, this is what that looks like in the music business. The voice that made them famous in one place, the name that made them famous in another, and fans caught in the middle. Number 8, the Spinners.
Guaranteed to blow your mind so high you won't come down.
On February 7th, 2024, Henry Fambro died. And with him went the last direct connection to the Spinners anyone would ever have. The Spinners formed in 1954 in Detroit as the Domingos. Henry Fambro was there from the beginning. 70 years. The longest tenure of any member in any major soul group, period.
Did he learn that? Oh, Lord. Y'all help me get away.
They gave us I'll Be Around. Could It Be I'm Falling in Love? Then came You with Dionne Warwick. The Rubber Band Man. 18 platinum and gold albums, 6 Grammy nominations. In 2023, they finally got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but Henry was getting old. In his final years, he was touring with a completely reconfigured lineup. Jesse Peck, Ronnie Moss, C.J. Jefferson, Keith Patterson, guys who'd never been part of the classic hits, guys he trained himself. Henry used to call himself the captain of the ship. He spent his last years making sure these new members understood what being a spinner meant. The choreography, the harmonies, the brotherhood. He was passing it down, and then he was gone. 85 years old, the Spinners announced they would continue touring with his blessing. The website still talks about his legacy, but when you see them now, there's not a single person on that stage who was there when any of those hits were made. It's not a group anymore, it's a memorial. Tribute act approved by the estate. And if that doesn't make you feel something, you might want to check your pulse. Now, the next 6 groups on this list take things even further. Some have no original members at all. Some have been fighting legal battles over who even has the right to use the name. And some raise questions about what it really means to be a group in 2025. If you're feeling this content, do something right now. Hit that subscribe button. We break down the real stories behind the music you grew up with, the stuff nobody else talks about. And if you want to go deeper, join our membership. Exclusive content, early access, direct connection to a community that cares about this music as much as you do. Links in the description. All right, let's get into the top 6.
So much rhythm, grace, debonair, one man. Oh, no.
Number 6, the Platters.
It's such, I pretend too much.
If you search the Platters online right now, you'll find at least 4 different groups claiming to be the Platters, and none of them have any original members.
Well, I feel what my heart conceal.
The Platters formed in 1953 in Los Angeles. Herb Reed, Tony Williams, David Lynch, Paul Roby, Zola Taylor. They were the first African-American group to reach international superstardom. Only You, The Great Pretender, Smoke Gets in Your Eyes, Twilight Time, songs that crossed racial lines when that was almost impossible. But here's what happened. Their manager, Buck Ram, owned the rights to the name. Not the singers, the manager. When members left, he just replaced them. Tony Williams, the lead voice on their biggest hits, left in 1960 to go solo. Ram kept using the name. Williams started his own Platters. Ram sued. The lawsuits multiplied. Zola Taylor started her own Platters. Paul Roby started his own Platters. Herb Reed spent decades in court fighting for the right to use a name he helped create. He finally won in 2011. 2 years later, he was dead. Every original Platter is now gone. Tony Williams, Herb Reed, all of them. The current official Platters are talented singers, professionals, but they're performing someone else's legacy, someone else's story, someone else's pain.
I'm lonely, but no one can tell.
If you've ever built something with your friends and watched someone else take credit for it, you understand why Herb Reed spent his whole life fighting. Some things are worth more than money.
Can't conceal, yes.
Number 5, The Drifters.
Oh, when the sun beats down and burns the tar up on the...
Rolling Stone magazine once wrote that no group has done it this well for this long, not even the Rolling Stones.
We'll be making love under the boardwalk.
But here's the thing about the Drifters. There have been over 60 members since 1953. The Drifters started as a backing group for Clyde McPhatter in 1953.
We'll be having some fun under the boardwalk.
When McPhatter left, his manager George Treadwell had a problem. He owned the name. He had bookings. He didn't have singers, so he fired the entire group and hired a completely different group called the Five Crowns. Changed their name to the Drifters overnight. That group gave us Benny King. There goes my baby. Save the last dance for me.
Some fun under the boardwalk. People walking about.
But they were low-paid musicians, hired hands. When they asked for more money, Treadwell replaced them too and kept replacing them. 60 different singers over 70 years.
On a blanket with my baby, that's where I'll be.
Benny King left in 1960. Rudy Lewis, who sang Lead On Broadway and Under the Boardwalk, died in 1964, the night before a recording session. Johnny Moore came back, left, again came back again. By the 80s, there were multiple Drifters touring simultaneously. The original Drifters, the Treadwell Drifters, tribute Drifters.
Out of the sun under the boardwalk, we'll be having.
Today, every original Drifter is dead. Every member from the Benny King era is dead. The group touring in 2025 has no connection whatsoever to anyone who made those records.
Down by the sea, yeah.
But here's the strangest part. They still sell out shows. Under the Boardwalk still makes people cry. The songs don't care who's singing them. They belong to everyone now. Number 4, the OJs. The OJs are supposed to be on their final tour right now, but that's not the story here. The story is what happened in April 2025. Eddie Leverett and Walter Williams have been singing together since 1958. That's 67 years. Childhood friends from Canton, Ohio, who went on to become the architects of Philadelphia soul. Backstabbers, Love Train, For the Love of Money. I Love Music, two original members still touring together. That's almost unheard of. But Eddie Leverett is 82 years old. Walter Williams is 81. Walter has been fighting multiple sclerosis for over 30 years. Eddie lost two sons, Gerald and Sean, within 2 years of each other. Gerald in 2006, Sean in 2008. And in December 2024, his 22-year-old daughter Ryan died of lupus. In April 2025, the OJs played a show in Minnesota. Eddie wasn't there. No official explanation. Walter performed with Eric Grant and a newcomer named Nicholas Davis. Reviews said the show was good, but people noticed something. Nicholas Davis didn't know the choreography. He just stood there while Walter and Eric did the moves. Here's what's happening in real time. A replacement is being trained. The final tour might not be so final for the name, but for Eddie and Walter, the end is coming, and everyone can feel it.
I feel sorry for you.
If you've ever watched someone you love slow down, you know this isn't just about music, it's about time. And time doesn't negotiate. Number 3, the Four Tops. The Four Tops were supposed to be different. For over 40 years, they never changed their lineup, not once. And then everything fell apart. Duke Fakir, Levi Stubbs, Obie Benson, and Lawrence Payton formed the Four Tops in 1953 at a birthday party in Detroit. They recorded Baby I Need Your Lovin', I Can't Help Myself, Sugar Pie, Honey Bunch. Reach Out, I'll Be There. Same 4 guys. No substitutes, no replacements. 44 years of brotherhood. Then Lawrence Payton died in 1997. Obie Benson in 2005. Levi Stubbs, the lead voice on every single hit, suffered a stroke in 2000 and never fully recovered. He died in 2008. That left Duke Fakir, the first tenor, the guy who held harmonies while Levi wailed. Duke kept the group going with replacement singers, including Lawrence Payton Jr., the son of his late bandmate. He toured into his 80s, broke his hip in 2018, did the show anyway, got on the tour bus, went home, then let his wife take him to the hospital. On July 22nd, 2024, Duke Fakir died of heart failure at home. He was 88 years old, the last original Four Top. The group announced they would continue touring as a tribute to his legacy, which means the Four Tops now have 0 original members. 71 years, 4 friends who started together, all gone now, and someone still out there singing Reach Out, I'll Be There to audiences who remember what it used to mean. Number 2, The Temptations. Otis Williams is 83 years old. He's been in The Temptations since 1960, and right now, he's the only original member left in a group that's had over 20 different singers. The Temptations formed in Detroit in 1961. Otis Williams, Melvin Franklin, Eddie Kendricks, Paul Williams, David Ruffin. They gave us My Girl, Ain't Too Proud to Beg, Papa Was a Rolling Stone, Just My Imagination. 5 voices, 5 personalities, 5 styles, the signature choreography, the matching suits, Motown perfection. But David Ruffin's ego got too big. He left in 1968. Eddie Kendricks left in 1971. Paul Williams, battling depression and alcoholism, shot himself in 1973. Dennis Edwards came in, Ollie Woodson came in, people came and went like a revolving door. Melvin Franklin, the bass voice, promised Otis they would never quit. Never. No matter what. Melvin stayed until 1994 when his health made it impossible. He died in 1995. Since then, Otis Williams has kept the Temptations going through member after member after member. The current lineup has no one from the classic era except him. In 2017, Billboard named the Temptations the #1 R&B hip-hop artists of all time. In 2019, they were named one of the 125 greatest artists in music history. Otis accepted those honors, but the men who made those records, Eddie, David, Paul, Melvin, they weren't there. They'll never be there again. You know what Otis Williams owns? The rights to the name. He controls who gets to be a Temptation, but he can't control time. And every year that name means something a little bit different than it did the year before. Number 1, what this all means. So let me ask you the question one more time. When does a group stop being that group? Is it when the lead singer dies? Is it when half the members change? Is it when the last original member's gone?
How I depend on you to give.
We just went through 12 legendary groups. Some have one original member clinging to a legacy. Some have 0. Some have been feuding for decades over who has the right to use a name. And here's what nobody wants to admit. These groups exist because we want them to exist. We keep buying tickets. We keep streaming the songs. We keep wanting to hear My Girl performed live, even if not a single person on that stage ever met Smokey Robinson.
Hurry now and don't be late, 'cause we ain't got time to chat.
It's not really about the singers. It's about us. What we remember, what those songs meant when we first heard them, the slow dance, the family reunion, the car ride with someone who isn't here anymore. The music is a time machine, and we're paying for transportation. The real question isn't whether these groups should keep touring. The real question is what we're actually paying for when we buy a ticket. Are we paying for the music, the memory, the illusion? And maybe the answer's all 3. Maybe that's okay. Maybe the songs belong to all of us now. And maybe the best thing these men did was create something that could outlive them.